Hello everyone, Ron here from RJJ's Reactions, and I am back with 9 Inch Nails. And a couple of people requested an All That Could Have Been. It's been on my regular list for quite some time, but Flatliner requested it again recently on one of my other 9 Inch Nails, the last reaction I did to the Fragile album. And so I thought, okay, it's time to do an All That Could Have Been. I don't know if I've heard this song before. I don't think I have, but I'll let you know if I recognize it as we get into it. I have done a number of 9 Inch Nails reactions. I'll put a link in the description to my playlist for them if you want to see all of them in one place. Also, I'll put a link to the artist channel, of course, so you can go there and subscribe and like and comment and support the artist. I really do encourage you to do that. 9 Inch Nails is fantastic. Also, down in the description, there is a way to bump up your request and get it much, much quicker than on the regular list. Just use one of the donation methods. Let me know what you want me to react to, obviously. And if you have a shout out name you prefer that I use, let me know that too. Sometimes it's good to send a link as well, because especially if the same artist has done the same song multiple times. In other words, there's many videos. Uh, I don't know which one to pick. So I pick one, and then usually people say, you picked the wrong one. so, so sending a link can be helpful as well, unless you think they're all fantastic. And usually they're all pretty good when you have amazing artists like 9 Inch Nails. Don't forget to subscribe here if you already have. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who shared videos, liked videos, commented, and sent information. I read everything you send, and I answer as many as I can. All right, let's have a listen to 9 Inch Nails and All That Could Have Been. Just from the title, it sounds like maybe regrets, what could have been, shoulda, coulda, woulda sort of thing. All right, let's have a listen. Big gloomy, eerie sound. Love that strumming bass sound. Cool. I was just about to stop, and then this line came up, and I was going to say, it feels like he's feeling like he's toxic. Well, he says, I'm tainted here. It just was uh, very coincidental that popped up. Um, yeah, sometimes we feel worthless. We feel, and there's two sides to that. We want to protect the other person, or even people, it doesn't have to be one person, from what we feel is our tainted selves or our toxic selves or our whatever. We just feel so depressed and so dark and we don't want that to rub off on other people. Other times, sometimes I wonder, and whether or not, that that's used to um, almost as a weapon too. So yeah, there's kind of two sides, I guess, or maybe, probably more than that. Love Trent's vocals here. The instrumentation, as always, is fantastic. It's always something different. You hear different things. If you listen over and over, you hear even more. On the first listen, I can only get a certain amount, but I love the bass sounds. I love some of, I don't know what they use sometimes for the percussion. It almost sounds like they're bending metal there, but they're probably using something else to make that sound. But yeah, it's really, really amazing. I'm going to back up a bit here. And all that could have been if it weren't for my tainted self. So it is a relationship. Super transition there. Cool shot. Okay, that's it. Um, well, I could have lots to say, but I'll try and keep my comments down a little bit. I love the percussiveness of it, and it's not just the percussion, but some of the other instruments that they use to give that percussion sound as well, if that even makes any sense. Hopefully it does. I love Trent's vocals as well. Although with some of the other songs, if I didn't have the CC on, there were points at which I didn't hear any vocal. It said there was vocal. It could just be me. It could be me in my old age. Um, but other times when I could hear the vocal, but I probably wouldn't have heard what he was saying without the CC coming up, which seemed to work well on this one, which is great because sometimes it doesn't. But when I could hear his vocals more clearly, and most of the time I could in this one, there were only a few points at which it was so quiet I could hardly hear. Most of the time I could hear him, and I really like his vocals. I've mentioned that before, and I'm going to choke again. Um, yeah, I said this was uh, there's something about this shot, this mud. As you feel you're sinking into the mud, and yet you got this water, and you got the reflection of the sky, and then they sort of panned up to the sky afterwards as well. So I think that as strange as that maybe that seems, it also tied into some of the earlier thoughts I was having about the song and trying to come to terms with it. There was a piece, sort of an instrumental piece there. I don't know, maybe three-quarters of the way through or something, that sounded to me like that was trying to work through this, all this thinking you're doing of what could have been, and if only it wasn't for tainted me. Um, and I'm just going to move this. I don't know why. I don't know which shot to stop on, but and all that could have been. Um, Yeah, sometimes people look for someone else to fill that hole in you in themselves. I think that is okay to a point, but I also think it's a mistake. Sometimes it's not fair to the other person. That's sort of what they're singing through this song, letting go of a relationship. On the other hand, it's not fair to you either. I think you have to um, maybe do a little bit more work before you do that, and then it can be helpful, right? But uh, if you're really in a state, then maybe it's not going to help you either, because it in many ways might make you feel even worse about yourself, and then you have to go through this breakup, and that's going to be even harder on you. So I don't know that it's all that helpful to look for. It's never good to look to someone else to blame, and probably never good to look for someone else to cure you or heal you, other than maybe seeing a counselor or a doctor or other things like that. And then when you're strong enough to have a good relationship, then it can really help you, and that other person can sort of save you per se, and but you can also help them. And that's the other thing I would say is, if you are down, and trust me, I've not only been there, but I am there sometimes still. I've dealt with it all my life. I think technically since I was a baby, even though I don't remember when I was a baby, of course, but what people tell me about my behavior, and the horror show that I was when I was I mean, brand new baby. I'm not talking about a little kid. Um, I was a pretty well behaved child and everything. I wasn't a demon, but as a baby, apparently, I screamed and screamed. I think there was always an issue, and I don't know what it was. Nobody ever really figured it out, and it still comes to haunt you sometimes. And I think you have to. I guess it's different for everyone, but maybe if you come to accept some of those things in you, and I'm not even sure that you're tainted. It's just being human, and being over, in some cases, being overly sensitive, overly empathic, or just too much of too much, and so sometimes you just have to accept that, you know what, these things are going to happen. We're going to have to work through them. We're going to have to take step by step, get out of that darkness, look toward the light, look toward the sky, if you like. It could be anything, though. I mean, I think nature. We got sort of bit of nature here. Walking through a park, walking through a forest. Don't get lost. But down by a river or lake or something like this, ocean, if you're lucky enough to live near one, can be very healing as well. And just be, right? Try to stop that train that goes up here. Easy for me to say, not so easy for me to do, and I'm sure it's not for others too, but still, it's good to hear once in a while some of these things, and I have to repeat them to myself. I know they can help a done it over and over and over again, and I'm sure I'll have to do it some more. And helping other people can really help you, though, to get out of yourself, to get out of your own deeper thoughts that keep drilling down and drilling that hole deeper and deeper. Sometimes that can help to get you out of that too. Anyway, I'm going to stop there because otherwise I could go on for too long. I probably already have. No use thinking about all that could have been. Think about what can be in the future or the present and working toward the future, because I really can't change the past. And I do that too. You can get down on myself thinking about things I did decades ago, even when I was really young. I think of things I think, oh, I should have done that differently. And it's like, it's no good now. It's way past. And the other people that were involved generally have either forgotten about it altogether or never took it that seriously at the time anyway. Because I sometimes have raised it and said, well, do you remember blah, blah, blah? And they say either no, they don't remember, or that was nothing. Like I didn't even think about that. So sometimes we get down on ourselves for no reason at all. I hope you're doing well. You can let me know in the comments. Well, actually, maybe not in the comments. You can send me a private email if you like. But if it's all good, you can let us know in the comments. You don't necessarily want everything public. But let me know what you think of the song or Nine Inch Nails. Give it a like if you liked it, of course. Also, check in the description for a link to their channel, so you can go there and subscribe and check out everything on their channel and support the artist. Check in the description for a link to my playlist for Nine Inch Nails, and also for a way to bump up your requests and get it a lot quicker than on the regular list. Uh, oh, yes, if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Just push that little button. Thank you to everyone who has. Have an amazing day. Keep listening, keep having fun. It's Ron from RJJ's Reactions. Bye bye for now.